What in the hell is wrong with me? Seriously, what the hell is my problem? That was a question that I often asked myself day in and day out throughout my 9 years of active cannabis, nicotine, stimulant, and adult media content related substance use or addiction. Day in and day out, I would wake up saying, today is going to be the last day. Today I'm going to quit vaping. Today I'm going to quit smoking weed. Today I'm going to stop drinking alcohol. And time again, I would find myself going back on my own word, not seeing my commitment through. And I would only be left with the question of, what the hell is wrong with me? Why can't I succeed at this? If you're anything like me and you're a high performance individual, you've achieved many great things in your life, you've displayed aspects of your life that required willpower, discipline, grit, commitment, all those characteristics, but you just can't seem to stop using this substance, whether it be cannabis, nicotine, or other, you're probably asking yourself the question, what the hell is wrong with me? And in today's video, I'm going to set out to answer that question. Now, it's a very important question to answer because what winds up happening after you find yourself saying that over and over again is it creates a subconscious rot that can start to spill over into your business, your career, your relationships, your mental health, and that can all have a massive impact on your physical health. You start to become full of self-doubt, and that self-doubt is extremely dangerous. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the 7 ways that nicotine companies, cannabis companies, and you could even say alcohol companies keep people hooked, keep people addicted. Because in order to quit, it helps to understand exactly how these companies are manipulating you and taking advantage of you. Because once you begin to understand that, it's easier to deprogram and finally walk away from the substance use once and for all. Because if you don't understand the enemy or you can't see it when it's coming, it's very, very hard to try and escape it. Now, real quick, if you're new to the channel, my name's Dr. Frank, and I offer a science-backed method that has a 98% success rate at helping people quit nicotine and cannabis in as little as 48 hours. This method is geared towards high-level professionals and high-performance individuals. We emphasize privacy, and we do this without disrupting your public life or public image and without relapse. To learn more, check out the link in the video description if you wind up enjoying today's video. Way number 1 that these companies keep people addicted is they sell you the false perception of novelty. How do you sell someone the same garbage drug over and over and over again? How do you sell someone the same poison over and over and over again? You create the idea, the perception of novelty. These companies deeply understand neuroscience and neurochemistry, and they comprehend that the brain thrives on dopamine. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter that's responsible for motivation and repeating a behavior over and over again. And dopamine peaks when it senses novelty. So what these companies will do is they'll come up with a new product, a new mode of delivery, a different blend of ingredients, a different type of packaging, and they'll try and sell you a novel experience. Hey, look at this vape compared to that vape. Look at this strain of cannabis compared to that strain of cannabis. Look at this form of alcohol compared to that form of alcohol. It's all the same poison, just packaged in the perception of a novel experience. You, me, we consume it, and what do we get? The same exact outcome over and over and over again. And it's because they fooled us into thinking that we were trying something new, trying something different. And I can't tell you how many times I have seen clients over the years, the hundreds of people that I've helped, if not thousands, walk away from nicotine and cannabis products that have fallen for this trap. And the saddest thing about it is, well, they're busy selling you some false perception of novelty, newness. The actual novel experiences that you could be taking advantage of in life are literally passing you by. And this is where life starts to lack joy. Things start to become very depressing and very, very doom and gloom. I lived it myself and I know exactly what it's like. So, tip number one is recognizing that they are not selling you a new experience. It's not some novel thing. Dispensaries are getting particularly well at this, right? Different dispensary, different vibe in each one, this and that. A whole experience is created inside the store. It's the same drug. It's going to be the same outcomes every time. Don't fall for the false perception of novelty. Number two, these companies sell you a tolerance and a dependence. So they do this by increasing the strength of the product, higher concentrations of THC, higher proof of alcohol, higher concentrations of nicotine. And they do it by selling you faster modes of delivery, particularly in the form of vape products, whatever it may be, right? Methods of delivery that are going to get that drug into your system quicker and allow it to detox equally as fast. So you wind up in a state of withdrawal throughout multiple times a day, needing more and more of that drug just to keep going. Now, what this does when they sell you these higher concentrations is it starts to build a tolerance. So you quite literally need more and more of the drug, higher and higher concentrations, to try and achieve the initial effects that it gave you once a long, long time ago. But as your tolerance goes up, as you consume higher concentrations, you actually start to develop a physical and psychological dependence to the drug. I can't sleep without it. I can't eat without it. I can't socialize without it. I can't enjoy my kid's baseball game without being stoned. I can't open up my work emails until I pop some stimulants and have a cigarette or hit some sativa blend of my cannabis. They make you dependent upon the substance by pushing your tolerance to such extreme levels. Why do you think we keep coming out with higher and higher and higher concentrations of the drug, despite the fact that once you reach a certain threshold, the medical benefit to it, the social benefit's going to be completely gone? It's to build a tolerance and it's to build a physical and psychological dependence. Once you feel that you are dependent upon the drug, it becomes very, very hard to walk away from it. Third, they manipulate your perception of the substance through well-crafted marketing. If I gave you a pill and told you this pill was going to make you sleepy and you took it, there's a high chance that pill's going to make you sleepy. If I gave you the exact same pill, the exact same sugar pill, and told you this pill's going to give you energy and you took it, there's a high chance you're going to think it gave you energy, even though it's the same pill in both scenarios. These companies do an incredible job at selling an experience, creating a preconceived effect before you even consume the drug. This alcohol is going to help you socialize. This nicotine is going to help you focus and lock in. This strain of cannabis is going to help you relax. They tell you what you're going to experience before you actually live the experience yourself. The placebo effect behind the marketing of these substances is very alive, it's highly effective, and it might be happening to you. They're selling you the experience before you even consume the substance. Number 4, these companies, cannabis companies, vape companies, alcohol companies, they have a very low barrier of entry to their product. The barrier of entry to getting sober is easy. When you have the right mindset, when you have the right framing, something that I have literally helped hundreds of people do over the years of addiction recovery coaching, it's easy, but it still requires effort. It still requires some work. But when it comes to substance use, it's a very low barrier of entry. To buy some cannabis is relatively inexpensive. To buy a vape is relatively inexpensive. To buy a bottle of alcohol or a case of beer isn't that costly up front. They make it easy access. You can access these things almost anywhere these days. And the upfront cost, the financial cost, is minimal, especially for people who are doing well in life, people who have successful careers, they're making a lot of money, right? That cost is almost negligible to them. But this is how they keep you hooked. Easy access, low barrier of entry to use, low cost. It's another way that they manipulate people to continually using the drug because that looks appealing in many cases as compared to something that might take a little bit of effort. But what people fail to overlook is the real cost of the substance use. Your time, your mental health, your physical health, your wealth, and your relationships. In many instances, this is the cost of consuming the substance, but it's a back-end cost that these companies don't tell you about. Number 5, these companies use financial and social incentives. I think of a product like Zyn, and you think of all their reward points. You think of being a VIP member at a dispensary and getting special deals. They're constantly using social and financial incentives to keep people coming back over and over again. I've interacted with numerous people over the years who have subscription delivery services for their cannabis consumption. Even I had a client once who had quit, and when I asked them what brought them back into it, they're like, I forgot to cancel my subscription. You see also like a lot of tobacco companies doing this nowadays, especially with like vape products, nicotine pouch products. This is becoming really, really popular. It's just a way to keep you purchasing over and over and over again. I actually had a client not too long ago that had one of the subscriptions from a medical dispensary, and they were showing me the emails that the medical dispensary was sending them, and it would say like today's deal, 20% off, get high as a kite with X, Y, and Z strain of cannabis. And I said to this client, think about this. You're getting this email. They're sending you a deal, 20% off, even though it's costing this person. At this point, they were suffering in the realm of physical health, mental health, and financial well-being from their cannabis substance use. But I was like, imagine if an opioid company or pharmaceutical company was sending this type of email. Get high as a kite with 20% off of our newest drug. That would be insane. Yet it's happening every single day when it comes to cannabis products. Number 6, these companies cherry pick the studies to only show the benefits while negating the negatives, and they have a huge pull when it comes to lobbying and political decisions regarding the legality of these substances. And look, I'm not for or against legality. I really don't care. I'm just focused on helping people who struggle. But it doesn't change the fact that these large companies cherry pick the information that they want you to see. It blows my mind that there's not a warning at every medical dispensary about cannabis-induced psychosis and a condition called Cannabinoid Hyperemesis Syndrome, a horrible syndrome that can involve cyclical vomiting and intense body pain and nausea and malnutrition. It blows my mind the amount of information that is not disclosed when it comes to the risks involving these substances. Because if you truly understand the risk that you were posing to yourself, you probably wouldn't do it. Alcohol companies are starting to get called out for this, just like big tobacco with cigarettes got busted for this many, many years ago. These companies are masters at hiding the facts and only showing you, only exposing you to what it is they want you to see. Reason number 7, and this one is kind of tricky, these companies will oftentimes leave a person's life in shambles due to substance use. The marriage is a mess, the finances are a mess, the person's physical health and mental health is a mess. And then these companies will position themselves as being like, hey, we understand that you're stressed and anxious and depressed, but we're still here for you. You're always welcome back to the dispensary. You're always welcome back to the bar or the liquor store. You're always welcome to come buy another pack of cigarettes or another vape. We have your back. We get it. It's a really, really sick, twisted thing, actually. People wind up getting to a place where the only way they feel they can manage is with continued use of the substance because of all the disastrous things that have occurred in their lives because of continued use of the substance. It's a really tricky, manipulative, gaslighting type of way to keep a person hooked. The reality is, cannabis, alcohol, tobacco, nicotine, pornography, these are not living, breathing things. They don't care about your health. They don't care about your wealth. They don't care about your relationships. They don't care about your faith. They don't care about any of it. But I do. That's why I keep making these videos. That's why I keep putting out all this YouTube content. The reality is, you are literally a single decision away, for better or worse, from changing the entire trajectory of your life. I sincerely mean that. Continued use of the drug or making the commitment to quitting the drug. And something that I would like to do is help you make that decision. Now that you understand how these companies are manipulating you, you have to start to decide. Do you want to keep falling for it? Do you want to be a victim to them? Or do you want to walk the other way? And I made a video right here or here that specifically addresses how to make that decision, how to make that commitment in either direction, continued use or quitting. So follow me into that next video into one of these two spots. I'll see you there.